what's up guys? Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. My name is Cairo and today we're going to be doing a flawless everyday makeup tutorial. So if you're interested, then just please stay tuned. Alright, so we're starting off with our hair back and then my eyebrows done already. I'm going to film a whole separate in-depth brow tutorial, but for right now we're going to go in with primer. Well, the primer that I really like to use right now is the Silk Canvas primer. I have a little sample because I got it from Sephora, but this one is actually a really nice one and it smells really nice. So I usually just take a little bit on my finger and kind of just go over everything. I go foundation. Let's see.
The life, the fame, the life's the game. We break the laws, don't like to change. Wanna win you back, but I hate to lose. I know that you're the one, but it's hard to choose.
Okay, so once we're done with primer, I already mixed my foundation on the back of my hand, but I went in with the Maybelline 24 Hour Superstay foundation. I did about 2 pumps of this, and then my favorite, all-time favorite foundation right now is the Laura Geller Filter First Luminous foundation. With this foundation, I can never find my shade, so I always have to make something lighter, which is where the Maybelline one comes in. That combo is really good. It's super full coverage, and I really like it. So I have it mixed on the back of my hand right now, and then I'm going to go in with my beauty blender, and then I spray it with a little Fix Plus just to get it damp. And then what I'll do is I'll take the foundation on the back of my hand and I'll dot it all over my face.
You like the sound, it's going down, it's going down.
And also before I do that, because I have oily skin, I set my nose with powder first. So I set the primer with powder, just so my nose isn't super oily throughout the day, and this honestly sets it in place really well. So once I'm done with that, I'll wet my beauty blender again with the Fix Plus. And then I'll just start blending.
I wish there was another way. Tomorrow's another day. Try to take the pain away.
I use a couple different concealers, so I really like the Too Faced Born This Way Multi Sculpting Concealer. This one is a really good one. It's super full coverage. And I also been recently liking the Flower Beauty Concealer, the Light Illusion Concealer. This one is really nice. So I think I'll use both. I'm running out of the Too Faced one anyway, so it's fine. I think I'll go on with the Flower Beauty one first, because this one is a little bit lighter. I'm going to put it on my chin, in the middle of my nose, and on the center of my forehead, more towards my brows. Right. I'm gonna go in with the Too Faced one, just a little bit. I'm going to spray my Real Technique sponge with the Fix Plus again. And I think I'm gonna start blending out my face concealer on my chin first, and then my forehead and my nose, and then eyes last.
Too much whiskey in my red cup. Remember first day you wouldn't give it up. We had only.
Alright, now that our concealer is blended out, so I go in with 2 different powders. One for my face, I guess 3 different powders. One for my face, one for my eyes, and then another all over face setting powder. So the first powder I go in with is the Laura Geller Translucent Powder. I really like this one for underneath my eyes. It just sets it super well and it makes it nice and seamless and flawless. And then for the rest of my face, where I put the concealer, I use the Airspun powder, just the regular one, the loose face powder. I'm gonna blend out all of the creases before I set my concealer. Alright, and then I'll take my blending sponge and dip it right into the Laura Geller powder. And I don't really bake, I kind of just set it. So for the rest of the places that I use concealer, I'm going to go in with the Airspun powder. And for the rest of my face, I'm going to go in with the Sephora Micro Smooth powder in the shade Deep. Okay, so after I set the places I'm going to contour with powder, I started going in with my Morphe Megastar bronzer. Alright, then I'm going to go in with a tiny blending brush and I'm going to go right into the bronzer and start contouring or bronzing up my nose.
That's when I look away. Can't stand and think about losing your fine ass.
After we bronze up the nose, I'm going to go in with my Laura Mercier powder. I always say Laura Geller for some reason. I go into that powder and with my beauty sponge, I just, right on the back of here, I go into the powder and it kind of bake right underneath where I contoured.
Can you hear me? I know I fucked up. It's clear, see. I'm 22, but I don't act like it clearly. And
then I'll put a little bit of powder on my chin. And then squeeze the beauty blender and go into the powder and put a little bit on my nose just to highlight that area again. What I've really been liking for blush nowadays is the Flower Blush Balm for cheeks. This one is in the shade Melon. And what I'll do is I'll squeeze a little bit out and I'll put it on the back of my hand. I'll blend it out with my finger. Looks really intense on camera, but it's not that intense in person. I'll take a brush like this. This is the Morphe M105 and I'll kind of just tap it into the blush just to get a little bit on the brush. And then I'll just go in on my cheeks.
I'm still with the niggas that I came with, but everything changed once some fame hit.
Alright. And I'm actually going to go in with another blush, but for right now I'm just going to dust off all the powder down here. Right where we set the smile lines. Alright, so this is like my ride or die blush. This is the Anastasia Blush Trio in Peachy Love. Right here. And then I'll go into this shade right here. You see it has a little dent in it already. But I really, really love this shade. So on top of using the flower one, I'll go in with this one and kind of just blend it out. It kind of mutes it down as well, because the other one is kind of bright, as you can see. This one is a little bit more muted, so it'll kind of just tone it down. So I'll put a little bit under my nose, like right here on the tip. And then I'll go in on the sides too, just for fun. So now before we do anything else, I'm going to go in with the Fix Plus and just spray my face so we get rid of all the powders on my face. So for the eyes, I keep it super, super simple. I usually just go in with one shade. Usually it's like a bronzy color or more of like a peachy orange color. I'm going to go into my Jaclyn Hill Original palette. Mine is very, very dirty. So I usually go with my Morphe M504 brush and I'm going to go into this shade right here. I'm pretty sure she named this one Pukey, but I'm not positive, but I think. So I take that and I literally just run it through the crease. On a day-to-day, I usually keep the eyes pretty simple. I'm going to go back into this palette later on. But for right now, I'm like, do I want to do lashes? So we're going to do lashes. Alright, so my all-time favorite lashes are the House of Lashes Iconic Lights. I wear them for an everyday makeup look. I do it for if I'm going all out with a bunch of eyeshadow. I usually use it for any time I wear lashes. They're my favorite lashes. But yeah, so we're going to go with those right now. And then the glue I really like to use is the House of Lashes eyelash adhesive, just the regular clear one, but this one is the best one I've used. I've used like the Duo one and other ones like that, and they never actually want to stick on my eye, so yeah. Alright, so I'm going to let these dry and then I'm going to come back and we'll finish the rest of the look. The lashes are on now, so the next thing I think I'm going to do is we can start with highlight. So I kind of have 2 steps to highlighting when I actually feel like it. One thing I always use is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder. This is in the shade Luminous Light. So I go in with this tiny little flat brush, and what I'll do is get a little bit, and then first I put it on my chin, just like that, and then I'll put some on the tip of my nose and the bridge of my nose. And then what I'll also do, I put it on the high points of my cheeks, not to highlight but just to bring a little bit of life back into the face. And I'll kind of also bring it underneath my eyes as well. And then if I actually feel like highlighting some days I don't, some days I just leave it like this. But if I actually feel like highlighting, I'll probably go in with my Dose of Colors Desi and Katy Chasing the Sun highlight. Looks like that. Super pretty.
I wish there was another way. Tomorrow's another day.
Then I'll put a little bit on my chin, and then I'll get a tinier brush, something super tiny like this, go in and do the tip of my nose, and also the bridge of my nose again. I'll go on my Cupid's bow, I'll go underneath the brow, just like that. And then for my inner corner, I'm going to go back into the Jaclyn Hill palette, and with the same brush I'm going to take this shade right here, right there, and then I'll just dip into it and we'll go right in the inner corners.
I'm 22, but I don't act like it clearly.
Now I'll go in with some bottom mascara. What I've been using lately is just the Tarte Camera Lashes. So I think I want to go back in with my bronzer that I used before, the Morphe bronzer, and kind of just bronze up everywhere else just to make it a little bit more even. So I'll bronze up my neck a little bit. And then I'll bronze my ears just a little bit, just so everything looks nice and even and cohesive. So we're pretty much all done. I'm gonna go in with my lip combo that I pretty much do every day if I'm not using just a regular lip balm. So what I'll go in with first is I'm gonna line my lips with the Maybelline Color Sensational lip liner in the shade Raw Chocolate. And then I'll go in with the NYX Strictly Vinyl Lip Gloss in the shade Sugar Mama. Alright, so we're gonna line our lips.
Play my song, you like the sound. It's going down, it's going down.
Alright, so after I line my lips, I'm gonna go in with the gloss.
Flaws that they magnify, and when it's real, you don't have to try.
So the absolute last things we're going to do is I'm going to spray my face again with the Fix Plus. Then I'm going to go in with the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. And then we're going to go in with the Morphe spray. Alright, so we are pretty much done with this whole look. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning into my very first makeup tutorial and very first video. I'm super excited to be here on YouTube, and I'm really excited for all the videos that I have planned, all the videos that I have planned in the future. I don't know, but I'm really excited to be doing this, and just thank you so much for watching.